Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and welcome back to Batman Be Vlogged, the weekly vlog series where I review an episode of Batman Beyond after watching it for the very first time. Today we are looking at episode 23, Mind Games, written by Alan Burnett, directed by Butch Lukic. Before we start, I want to just apologize for my flustered appearance. Simply put, I live in Nevada. The summers get hot. And, I haven't reached the point where I feel I need to start wearing makeup to do these so I look a little more presentable. Who knows? That might happen. We'll see. Anyway, overall thoughts. This is a fantastic episode. I have to admit, I have not been really vibing with season 2. Season 2 has been good, but it hasn't reached the same highs as season 1. I'm sure in my previous videos you've kind of seen me struggling with things to say, and mostly the better episodes I kind of sum my thoughts up with it's good, it's okay, it's above average. There haven't been really many great or standout episodes. I think the one I can think of the one I can think of most recently is probably Lost Soul and Hooked Up being two of the better episodes of this season. Whereas with season 1, we had Rebirth, we had um, I'm already forgetting episode names. We had Blackout, Shriek, Spellbound, Ascension, Disappearing Ink. Again, season 2 just has not had that many truly high notes. I hope, given the trajectory we've been on, again with episodes like Lost Soul, Hooked Up, and now here, Mind Games, I hope that means we're on an upswing because we are quickly approaching the halfway point of season 2. But enough about that. So, yeah, Mind Games, overall thoughts, fantastic episodes, one of the best episodes of season 2 so far. So this episode sees Terry interacting with a girl named Tamara. Turns out Tamara is a psychic, and she is in the middle of being kidnapped. Real quick, I want to deviate on a small tangent here. This episode's explanation for psychics is that whole humans use 10% of their brains, psychics use more. Yeah, just in case you didn't know, I'm not going to hold this against the episode because science has changed since then. Science is ever evolving, and we've learned things now that we didn't know back then. The 10% of our brains thing is a myth, simply put. Again, I'm not going to hold that against this episode. That might have been the science of the time, but we know that's not true. Anyway, it turns out Tamara is a psychic, and she is linking out for help to Terry for help to stop her from being kidnapped. This is one of the darker episodes of the show. And I say that because, like, one of my only triggers in fiction, I don't have many, like, most of the extreme stuff I can handle, but one of my triggers in fiction is violence against kids. Like, that puts me so on edge. It makes me so uncomfortable. This episode never reaches that point, but I'm just giving you kind of a point of reference for where I'm coming from on this and my thoughts on this. So Terry is basically in a race against the clock to try and save this kid, Tamara. And it's really well handled. This is a very tense episode. And the fight scenes with the other psychics Terry faces from an organization called the Brain Trust are really well done as well. He fights three of them. A woman named Bombshell, a man they just call, I think, like the Invincible Man or something, and someone simply called the Albino. All the fights are wonderfully animated. They're some of the best fights in the series. Probably another reason why I like it, because I can comment on how vibrant and the fights look and how good and fluid the animation is. And they're really brutal fights, especially with the animation. Especially with the Invincible Man. Like, he puts Terry through it. And also because Terry is facing psychics, there is an element of horror to this episode. Like, his fight with the albino, again, has really tremendous animation, but it's really frightening. We get other. Oh, I should also note, as far as guest cast goes, only one name stood out to me. Tamara is voiced by Mara Wilson, who you might know for such films as Matilda or Mrs. Doubtfire. And she is fantastic. She truly was one of the best child actresses of all time. Her, Haley Joel Osment, etc., etc. But yeah, she is really great. She is kind of the driving force and the emotional core of this episode, which also has some fantastic scenes. You know, like when Terry learns who the Brain Trust is, he goes to see Tamara's parents, and just these are really good parents. These are a great portrayal of parents, you know, especially again in superhero media. When you see kids with superpowers, you see their parents usually react very scared, very unsure of what to do. Sometimes they go down the abusive route or the negligent route, but I really like the portrayal of Tamara's parents here. Like, they don't know about what her powers are. They don't really understand her abilities, but they still love her. They still want what's best for her. It's a really phenomenal scene. It's probably the best scene in the episode. And there's a lot of great scenes. We also see, more so than Bruce this episode, we see Terry rely on Max for help, which is really interesting. I have to say, did I say this when I reviewed Rats last week? I don't remember, but like, it's interesting that, and this may just be my history as a shipper, kind of embarrassed to admit that, but it's like, for all the show tries to kind of push Terry and Dana, you know, before the series began, they were already dating and they're constantly breaking up and making up. They're already in a relationship. Terry and Max just have a better dynamic. They seem like a better couple. It also probably helps that Max is her own character, whereas Dana is just Terry's girlfriend. And again, last week, Rats was truly the first episode that expands on her. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Mind Games is currently the best episode of season 2. I really enjoyed it. It's got a really tight, tense plot, gorgeous animation, beautiful colors, really good performances, especially from guest star Mara Wilson. But those are just my thoughts. Have you seen Mind Games yet? What are yours? Start a conversation in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, click the bell next to subscribe to get notifications when I upload, and share the video around. All of it helps my channel grow. And in the description box below, you'll find a link to my Twitter where you can follow me and get updates on the channel for the time being. This is Sir Jedi Sentinel, and I'll see you guys next week.